Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on a man that chased down a woman before standing over her and firing his gun into the back of her head. September 23rd, 2021, it was 11:42 a.m. when Harris County sheriffs were notified of a murder in progress in the area of Cypress Station Drive in Houston, Texas. The caller reported witnessing a black male arguing with a black female in the common area of the 910 apartment complex. The female was running for her life as the male chased her down, standing over her before firing multiple times into the back of her head. He then fled the area on foot. Homicide investigators arrived on scene viewing a black female laid out on the sidewalk with multiple gunshot wounds. CPR and life-saving measures were attempted, but homicide was called for a reason, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. An OmniLink tracking device, more commonly referred to as an ankle monitor, was observed on the victim's right ankle. The serial number was searched and found to have been installed on 27-year-old Rhyneshia Sanford, a mother of 5, who'd been released on a $15,000 bond for felony theft. Rhyneshia's criminal history dates back 7 years, and in 2021 alone, she'd been fighting 4 counts of theft on top of evading arrest and resisting an arrest search. Her criminal history shows multiple thefts, aggravated theft, assaults on family members, and at the very worst, aggravated assault with a firearm. A witness at the apartment complex claimed to have seen the murder unfold, but refused to speak with investigators on scene for fear of retaliation. Contact was made with the witness, who described seeing a man and a woman arguing before the man pulled a pistol from his back pocket and started chasing her. He then started shooting the victim before standing over her as she laid flat, face down on the ground, and repeatedly fired into the back of her head. Surveillance video from the apartment complex was obtained, showing Rhyneshia running through the complex when a blue Ford Fusion speeds into the parking lot area chasing after her. The vehicle parked and a black male exited the vehicle with the firearm. A different angle shows the man shooting at her before she fell to the ground. He can then be seen standing over her. 11 spent shell casings were found surrounding her body. 3 gunshots entered the back of her head, close to her neck, and another 3 gunshots entered her back shoulder. A separate witness, who identified herself as a relative to the victim, described to investigators the victim was in an abusive relationship with a man named Cameron, who went by the nickname King. The witness further stated King had shot Rhyneshia last week, and she was on the phone with Rhyneshia's mother, who could send investigators pictures of them together. Homicide investigators were able to identify the alleged shooter as 29-year-old Cameron Davis, who is currently on bond for a felony violation of protection order in which he had previously assaulted Rhyneshia back in May. A police report states Rhyneshia had flagged down a Harris County deputy who observed her bleeding profusely from a fresh laceration on her lips. She also suffered swelling to her cheeks, jawline, and forehead as she described waking up to Cameron on top of her, punching her repeatedly in the face and ripping her hair from her scalp. She went unconscious before waking up again, grabbing her daughter, and finding law enforcement. Cameron's criminal history shows he's been violent since as early as 20 years old, when he was charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, only a month apart from each other. He'd go on to find himself fighting charges of carrying a handgun, felon in possession of a weapon, multiple counts of assaulting family members, and now murder, as Harris County sheriffs have filed an arrest warrant accusing him of the shooting death of his ex-girlfriend, Rhyneshia Sanford. At this time, Cameron is on the run, and his multiple mugshots have been shared through multiple news networks and across social media as the family of Rhyneshia demand justice.
That's my best friend. She didn't deserve that. She have kids, 5 kids and stuff like that. Her kids loved her.
Her kids don't have a mom no more. You know, they need their mom. And I have a grandbaby that also, she need her mom. What can I tell her? Her mom is not here anymore.
He's a monster. He's evil. He even threatened me that he was going to kill me. So that's why, like, I had kind of stepped back from getting her and taking up, like, where he was at, because he used to always pack a gun.
Not only that, but 2 men were shot and killed in the same apartment complex the day before Rhanisha was killed. Now 5 children will live the rest of their lives without a mother, and a witness will live in fear of retaliation as the accused killer is still on the run. Now, what would cause a man to murder his ex-girlfriend in such a brutal fashion? I don't think this is something that just happens. I feel like with this man, there's more to him than what we know. Most likely in juvenile records that the public don't have access to. I don't know if he was abused as a kid or if he was the abuser. Things like this just... When you have someone repeatedly abusing their girlfriend, I mean, she already had a protection order out against him. He allegedly shot her the week before killing her, so that may have been an attempted murder, and then this time he came back and finished it. But what's confusing is the witness is saying they were arguing beforehand. There's a lot of cases, and you can't blame the victim, but there's a lot of cases where the woman will keep going back to the man. It isn't 110% she just wants to get away from him, because I personally know females that have gotten restraining orders and still text and, hey, you want to come over, when they're drunk and lonely, and then they find themselves in the same abusive relationship, on and on and on. But the fact that the court records are showing he's assaulted family members before, he's been violent before. I mean, her too. She has similar charges to him. It seemed that they were together a toxic couple, and for whatever reason he decided to kill her, and it seems like a heat of the moment type of thing. It doesn't seem premeditated because there was an argument. He shot her previously. I'm not sure why it isn't saying that was reported to police, because there's nothing online stating that it was. There's nothing in the police report stating that that shooting was reported to the police. I don't understand how the fuck he just shot her and then kills her the following week. I don't know how he found her. I don't know if this was a mutual thing and they just started arguing. We don't have those details. But what we do have is a case of domestic violence, domestic murder. We have something that we can learn from. Men, if we are dealing with things that are causing us to lash out, we need to seek help. And a lot of men don't seek help. A lot of men want to keep things bottled up. These are the same people you find in prison. And in prison, you might want to be cool with them, because that reputation of being a killer and being oh so fucking violent is exactly the type of people you want in your circle in prison, because that fear will cause people not to fuck with you until he snaps on you. And you don't understand why he's stabbing you as you're looking at him like, what the fuck, I thought we were cool. It's because he has a mental issue. He has something that he hasn't dealt with that causes him to lash the fuck out. And everything's cool until it isn't. If we're dealing with these things, we need to speak with people. We need to seek guidance. We need to seek help. There's nothing wrong with that. And for the women that find themselves in these relationships, you need to get out of these relationships. They're toxic. They're poison. You understand that. You can't keep consuming poison and expecting to survive, expecting to live. Your body will slowly deteriorate until something like this happens and you're no longer alive for the 5 children that you just left behind. But rest in peace to Rhanisha. This is a horrible fucking case. The fact that it was recorded, it was witnessed, everyone knows what happened in brutal detail, and these details are online, and her kids are old enough to actually look this shit up. It's horrible. If I can find a GoFundMe for her and her family, I'm gonna have that posted in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. Till next time.